Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Leslie Engelstead and I'm here with my Uncle Jack, and we are learning a bit of World War II. Now, last I heard was Patton's words, right?
I guess so, but before that, just before we joined the 3rd Army, the 71st was scheduled to make an assault crossing. Well, first of all, we were going to make an assault crossing, or an assault on the Siegfried Line.
On the Siegfried Line, okay.
And then they found out that it wasn't occupied, so that was a good thing, because I had just gotten some training as with flamethrowers, and that would have been not the best way to spend the last days of one's life.
No. Grateful for that.
Attacking pillboxes and with flamethrowers, and then we were going to make an assault crossing of the Rhine, and that's when word came down that Patton had captured a bridgehead, or he had established a bridgehead further downstream.
Okay.
And so we were transferred then to Patton's 3rd Army, and things were quite fluid at that time. The war was kind of ending up, but we went to with Patton's army then, and our infantry was, the 71st was given the job of protecting Patton's flank as he went down the Audubon at 20 or 30 miles an hour.
Really?
We were to protect, to make sure there was no German force in the Black Forest, and so we went out and we had the job of making sure there was no German army of any size in the Black Forest that would be on Patton's flank. And
for interesting.
Just as we were getting ready to go in, a German burp can opened up on us, and that's really the only time I heard any incoming fire. And luckily they missed.
Yes.
And no one was injured. But then we went in the woods then and walked through the woods. And
was that the Black Forest?
The Black Forest,
wow.
Yeah. And then after that, well, let's see, what was another experience? I think it was in Amberg, where we were billeted one night, and the next day we got a hold of some eggs that the Germans preserved the eggs by putting them in salt water.
Okay.
When they floated, they were rotten, and so they had some eggs in this one house that we were in that were halfway up. So I thought I'd give them a try.
Halfway up.
Halfway, floated halfway
right.
up. And so I ate them.
Good choice.
Then we tasted good.
Good.
But we moved out about 1 o'clock in the afternoon then, and by 1:30, there was John sitting on the side of the road, throwing up and doing something else at the same time.
Not such a good choice then.
It's the one time in my life I didn't care whether I lived or died.
That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that food stuff is not anything to mess with, that's for sure. So was it shortly after that time, Uncle Jack, that everybody got the word, things were done, or did you have to stay there for a while?
We were moving along, and we got to in the vicinity of Regensburg, and as we were marching along the side of this little dirt road, secondary road or third rate road, in Germany. I was on the right-hand side, and half of the company was on the right-hand side, half was on the left-hand side, and all of a sudden, shells started to explode around us, about not more than 5 feet to our right, and then a little bit later on, we heard a roar, and here we were being strafed by a German jet plane. This is the first. These were the first airplanes that were used in combat that were jet, and they were about 100 miles an hour faster than our fastest planes. And if Hitler would have concentrated on the construction of these rather than his V1 and V2 rockets, they would probably have controlled the skies, and controlling the skies was very important in warfare.
Sure would be.
But
fortunately,
no one was injured, but it could have wiped out half of our company if the guy was a combat veteran, probably, rather than a test pilot, because we didn't know there was anything in the area, and he could have, well, he went down the whole, there was no taking cover because jet planes travel pretty fast.
yes.
But what they were doing, I think they only had fuel for about 15 minutes of flight time. And consequently, they were up there, and they would turn off their jets and glide around until they saw a target, and then they would dive and turn on their power after they had made their run. So that could have been the end of John right there.
No kidding. Our country would surely have not looked like this, would have they, if Hitler would have changed it?
Well, yeah, that could be.
Yep.
And then we were approaching Regensburg. There was a ground fog. We started out probably about 8 in the morning, and by about 10 o'clock the fog had burned off, and all of a sudden a battery of 88s, which was the best artillery piece of World War II, they were used for anti-aircraft, anti-tank, and anti-personnel. They were a multi-use artillery piece. They opened up on our company, but the topography was such that they couldn't depress their guns enough to hit us, and I'm not so sure that they didn't have, they fired for effect right away, but they overshot us by about 75 yards, and if they wouldn't have been for that ground fog, they probably had it zeroed in, so they could have hit us. The topography would have allowed them to hit us, but as it was, they overshot us, and
Sounds like you had, on that whole experience, there was so many times for just a little, little tinkering, things in life would look differently, huh?
Well, that's been
that's kind of life, though, isn't it, almost, when you think about Uncle Jack?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
It is life.
It is.
You've had some experiences too.
A few of those near-death ones, yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully our roots are a little deeper, and our faith has gotten way stronger because of, right? Uncle Jack, we have to say goodbye, and I am just so honored and thankful that you shared this time. And I know that we're going to do it, because he's only 92, for Pete's sakes. We've got him along a while. Share next time. We'll find him. We'll bring him back. Thanks again for joining us today at Universal Interiors. Make it a beautiful day. Thank you.